Good morning, gang. It's Wednesday. I'm sorry, it's just made me laugh. I can't tell you. I don't dare tell you. Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 21st of March, 2018. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, where it looks very nice and sunny out there. It's a little bit cold. I've already stuck my very long nose just outside. It is a long nose. Look, that is a nose, isn't it? Look at that. I could be related to the great Barry Manilow himself, as pictured on. Oh, it's the wrong one there. As pictured behind me this morning. Yes, I could be related to Barry, couldn't I, with my nose? You'd love a nose like that, wouldn't you? You'd smell everything that's going on, dear. Everything. Well, it looks like ITV have got a sense of humour. You may be following the Ant Dec story. And unfortunately, was a little bit drunk the other night and drove. We talked all about this yesterday, and tried to drive his car, his little mini home, and crashed on the Lower Richmond Road, sort of around near the brewery at Mortlake. We did talk about this yesterday, boys and girls. Well, in all the papers this morning, this particular version from the Daily Express. Ant McFarlane News, Saturday night takeaway fans are shocked by what they're replacing the show with this week. ITV have replaced Saturday night takeaway this week. Hello, what happened then? ITV have replaced Saturday night takeaway with action movie Fast and Furious 5. How hilarious is that? Someone's having a laugh there. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm quite pleased. I think that's quite humorous, don't you? I like that word. That is one of my favourite words of all time. Humorous. Humorous. I think that's very humorous. They've replaced the programme with the movie Fast and Furious, which is, I think, one of those movies which features very fast car chasing. Following Ant's arrest on Saturday after he crashed his Mini, and viewers has been dumbfounded by the choice. Well, no sense of... People haven't got a sense of humour, have they? Why can't you see the funny... Oh, I can't believe they've done that. Oh, that's really terrible. Why can't you just laugh? Why can't you just laugh? The channel has already announced that Ant Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway was being cancelled this weekend, which has surprised me. I really thought they were going to ring up and ask me perhaps to do some sort of one-man show on the telly this Saturday. You know, an ideal time, wouldn't it be, like 8 o'clock on a Saturday night for me, you know. I wouldn't even have to go to the studio. They could just pick up this live feed. They could save all that money on lights, have all that worry of getting those ghastly audience people. Have you seen the audiences that are being brought into TV shows now? Aren't they awful? They don't even dress proper. They're all on there with hooded tops, blooming old tracksuit bottoms on and trainers. You know, I was thinking the other day, in the snow the other day, I was thinking to myself, trainers, how did we ever get convinced by shoe people and shops to move from shoes to trainers? Have you seen what people are like? Probably yourself as well. Trying to wear trainers and walk on snow or ice. Impossible. All over the place. Now, I've got a nice pair of Timberland boots that I've had for about 6 or 7 years now. And they always come out in the winter and you do not slip on the snow or the ice. I don't know how it works, but there seems some way they must cut into the ice somehow and give you a bit of extra grip. Trainers, no chance whatsoever. And I saw people walking with trainers to and from the shops in the snow. They must have had soaking wet feet by the time they got back again. And the trainers are filthy. Absolutely filthy. Now, even if you don't clean shoes for a while, they still look relatively clean, don't they? And the shoes last forever. I've got a pair of shoes, right, that I still wear to work, that I wore at my mother's funeral 17 years ago, and they've never been rehealed or anything. Okay, I don't wear them every day. I've got about 4 or 5 pairs of shoes. I've got two Ted Bakers and 2 older pairs. For example, the ones that are 70. I think there's a pair that are older. Yes, my father's funeral, 1996. 06, 16, 16, 17, so 96, 2006, 2016. So they are at least 77 years old, those ones. It's about 77 years since 2000 and since 1996, I think. But, and there's nothing wrong with those either. Never been rehealed or anything. How on earth did we ever get convinced that trainers were wonderful things? Because they're not. Some of them are like £200 a pair. My nephew doesn't think anything of buying a pair of trainers for 200 quid. My younger nephew. Oh, no. Oh, what? But why do you want those ones, Jim? Oh, they got a little diamond on the side. Oh, they got a little triangle on the tip where the toe is. Oh, whoopee-doo. Always got little gold braiding in the laces. Honestly, wouldn't even consider a pair of trainers at the knockdown price of £10 in Primark or somewhere like that, would they? Talking of which, I bought something this week. I bought a nice new, look at this, a lovely crisp white shirt. Look at that. Ben Sherman. I've got loads of Ben Sherman stuff. I was showing this to my mate last night. Now, my mate is a fashion snob. He's a fashion snob. He would never, ever considering wearing anything unless it's got a label on it. So I've bought this Ben Sherman, right? In all faith. Well, he must like this one. Ben Sherman. I've got Ben Sherman shirts, and they all fit quite well. Although this is, I've taken a risk with this one. This is medium. Yes, from extra large to medium. Now, I haven't tried it on yet, but I am hopeful. I am hopeful that this will fit. Anyway, so he comes round last night, doesn't he? Full of the joys of spring as usual. You open the door. There's a cat one. Oh, such a miserable bastard he is most of the time. But anyway, and then he sits down and starts telling him about all his ailments and illnesses. And I said, have you seen this? That? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a Ben Sherman. I said, yeah. And he says, well, they're not really a label anymore. Oh, you can't win, can you? You can't win. What it's probably is jealousy, because I bought this before he did. 30 quid. It's good, isn't it? 30 quid for a shirt. That's quite acceptable. I bought that on a site called, I think it's M&M Direct or something like that. And they seem to have all these, I would consider that a design. Oh, it's got the little, look, it's sewn on there as well. Ben Sherman. Did he actually make this himself? He sounds very nice looking, doesn't he? Ben Sherman. There was a nice looking bloke on the Facebook Live this morning. I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. Anyway, back to this. Following that, producers have decided to air an episode of Through the Keyhole at 9 o'clock, and then Fast and Furious at 10:15 in place of Ant Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway. The film's premise is exactly what the title says on the tin. Racing fast cars in the middle of a high-octane adventure, which some believe is too much close to home given Ant's accident on Sunday. Well, no one died, did they? Who died? No one. No one died? Why not? And someone wrote on the Twitter, I think, without irony, ITV has scheduled the Fast and Furious film for Saturday night. So Ant gets caught drink diving on TV and helps fill the void of the Saturday Night Takeaway with Fast and Furious. Couldn't make this stuff up. I think it's hilarious. Good on ITV. A third. Oh, what's wrong with these people? A third of. So Saturday Night Takeaway is cancelled. And they're showing Fast and Furious. Well done, ITV. Yeah, well done, ITV. Nice on you. Congratulations. Let's all laugh at life, because believe me, there's a lot of people out there who don't laugh. If only you could see the funny side of things, you'd all be a lot of happier. You would. Please try and see the funny side of things, boys and girls. Let's say hello to some people this morning. Good morning, Adam the plumber. Good morning to the lovely, gets the first message in this morning. Morning, Adam. Diane Jebb's there. Louise and Karen. Oh, had a nice birthday Monday, didn't you? You were still hanging around by the time I was leaving as well. Good morning. Good morning to Louise and Karen. Oh, I said, so I've already done you twice now, dear. Done you twice. Good morning, Mark Cording. Morning. Oh, what a shame you didn't come down Friday, Mark. You do know who was at the pub on Friday, don't you? Have you found out yet? Who was at the pub Friday? Andy Baker, good morning, Andy. Karen was booked on Saturday Night Takeaway a few weeks ago, but was cancelled as anyone was having a bad one. Oh, were you? Oh, always last out in the pub. I know that with you two. Don't worry about that. Yes. Thank you, Mark. On Friday, do you know who was down the pub on Friday, Mark? You missed out there, my friend. You missed out. Thank you, Juan. I'll have a look at that later. I can't really look at YouTube while I'm doing the show, all right? Over on the Facebook, on the YouTube, good morning to Joanna. Morning, Joanna. Hello. Weird City Citizen said the theme tunes give me goosebumps. Da 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 da. The crescendo. You love it, don't you? Written by David Arnold. That piece of music is that that I use for the opening and closing, and I asked him for permission to use it as well. And he kindly said no. That's some time ago now, actually. Isn't that nice for him to say? So did I say no? No, he said yes. I offered him. I said, how much would that cost? He said, no, that's fine. It's an old piece of music. Just use it. How kind is that? So there we are. Good. Oh, well, we had Darren, who writes Benidorm, and Miss Temple Savage. They came along to the karaoke on Friday. What a shame you weren't there, mate. Shame you weren't there. Missed out there, didn't you, Sunshine? You were going to come Friday, if I remember rightly. And then you ducked out again at the last minute. Not the first time you've done that, lovey, is it? Carl, these people. Oh, I'll probably be down later. Oh, I can't get out. Oh, I can't get out of there. I've got a bad toe. Oh, I've got a bad throat this morning. What a shame. What a shame. You weren't there. You missed out, Mark. You would have met proper celebrities, dear. Proper celebrities, yes. Good. So that's that. Where's my little notes gone here? Is that it there? No, that's yesterday's notes, isn't it? Oh, there we are. So yesterday morning, I spoke to you in the morning. Then I went and had my hair cut. Can you see it's all nice and sharp again? It was my favourite lady from Nepal, who cut it yesterday. She's so nice. She sits there, and I was saying, is that a nice place, to go if you, for example, wanted a nice holiday, Nepal? And she said, yes. I said, quiet. Is it quiet? She said, it can be. Depends where you go. Yes, that's what I would like, to go and visit monasteries. They have monasteries up there and people walking around in the orange robes. No, not ISIS beheaders. No, the different people altogether, dear. Very gentle, nice people, just like she is. So she finishes cutting me hair, and then I get the head massage. I don't know, she's got this stuff. She's got a little pot of stuff, and she puts this around her hands, and then sprays it with the lemon stuff, goes like that, and then massages my head. She's the only one that does it in there. Oh, it's lovely. And I'm closing my eyes like that. I hope she doesn't think I'm getting any dodgy pleasure out of that, It is nice to have your head massaged like that. Do you ever have massages? Anyone have Thai massages or anything like that? Where they're all doing all this business, up and down your back. I have had mates massage sometimes, and they start pushing, and I'm sure it's not right if a massage hurts. How can that be right? Morning, Joseph. Glad you like the blazer this morning. Yeah, I've got a couple of nice colourful ones. I've got some Christmas ones. There's a Halloween one and this one. I shall seek out new brightly coloured things. I like brightly coloured things. We don't like dull things like, I don't know, grey. Well, with the shirt's grey this morning. Grey and black and magnolia. We don't like dull. We like lively things. Lively things. There was a dull bloke on the Facebook Live this morning. I'll tell you about him later on. Good morning, Alan. Are you good with your hands? Yeah, you keep them to yourself, mate. Don't start touching me up, dear. Go and choose someone else. Thank you very much. Mark wants to ask Darren if I can be in Benidorm. Are you for real? What are you going to do in Benidorm? You got to be an actor for a start. You can't just go up to someone and saying, can I be in your show? How's that work then? You missed Miss Temple Savage. She's lovely. Such a nice lady. She's right at the very end of the video, of the Friday video, Mark. You can't just go up, can I be in your show? All right, what do you do then? What are you going to say to him? What have you been in before? It's just not done. It was quite funny, actually, when he was on here the other night, and was it Adam the Plumber? It was saying, Chris, ask him if you can be in his show as the karaoke host. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm not an actor. You just can't go up to people. No, you can't do that. As an extra, as what extra? What are you going to do? Sit there drinking free? You just want a free meal. That's all it is, isn't you? Mark always turns up when there's a buffet going, don't you? Free cake? Oh, I'll be there. I love it when we have free birthday cake at the pub when it's someone's birthday. I don't know if it's anyone's birthday this Monday, actually. Good morning, Christina. Everyone's very late this morning. Come on, we've been going 15 minutes. Why is everyone late this morning? You missed the best part of the show. We gave away a car and a holiday for two earlier. If only you'd been here. There you go. That's the way it is, Christine. Mark could sell toffee apples in the background. There wouldn't be any left. He'd be eating them all before he got to the customers, wouldn't you, mate? Anyway, so there's my new shirt. Haircut. Then I went to the Slimming World. Now I didn't stay yesterday. You can stay. The class is about an hour and a half long. When I say an hour and a half long, half an hour of that is the queue to go and get your weigh in, you see. So you join the queue, and the chat generally is for about an hour long, sort of between 12 and 1 in my case. Good morning, social media. I just went for the weigh-in yesterday, so it was a short queue by the time I got there. So you must always have a wee before you go for your weigh-in at Slimming World. Very, very important. And if possible, number 2s as well. You know, but I'd already done that earlier at home before I left the house. So I've gone to the Slimming World, went for the weigh-in. Who did me weigh-in yesterday? The lovely Liz. Oh, she's lovely, she is. Liz, they've all lost loads of weight. Got on the scales. And this week, my weight is 12 stone and half a pound. Oh, yes. So it's gone up half a pound since last week, which is perfectly acceptable. You've got 6 pounds to play with. I know I keep telling you this, but you never know who's joined us for the show for the first time. So welcome along if you have. Especially a big welcome along to anyone watching us on any of the Learn English Facebook groups as well. John likes my colourfulness. Thank you, John. I want some more jackets that are a bit more colourful, you know. We need colourful things in our lives. God knows there's so much dreadfulness going on. All right? So, you got your target. My target is 12 stone, which you set yourself. And you can go 3 pounds either side of it. That's what you're allowed. That's the play. Okay? And this week I am 12 stone. So here's my target level. Right? Say that's my target level. So this week I am, and there's your target range. Okay, there's your target range. So, I need someone else to hold something. So this week I am here. Alright, I'm here. Who's here? Well, that doesn't quite work, does it? So this week I am here. There's my range. I'm here. So that's perfectly acceptable on half a pound. So I'm very happy with that. And since I got to my target in in mid-November last year, since I got to that target, I do go up and down within those 3 pounds. I have actually gone down too far. I haven't gone up too far yet. I got close to it a few weeks ago. I got to 12 stone, 2.5 pounds. But this week I'm only 12 stone, half a pound, so that's perfectly all right. And I was saying to the girls, you know, do you find it easy to stick at your target? Or do you go up and down? She says, oh, no, we all go up and down a bit. She said, that's just a normal thing. Just a normal thing. It's one of those things. It could well have been the entire packet of, well, they were disgusting. Disgusting. I had something the other day, racist Easter eggs. Racist Easter eggs. I can only describe them as sold by a very well-known supermarket, Tesco's. I was horrified, dear. Paul Dow bought them in, one of our regular viewers. Paul Dow bought in racist Easter eggs. And I opened the bag, Milky Way Easter eggs, and I looked in there, all white. Not a single brown one. My black friends who were in the pub on Monday, I said, have you seen these? Have you seen this? As sold by Tesco's down the road. Racist Easter eggs. All white. Disgusting. Disgusting. So I only had almost all the packet and I gave 2 of them away. There was about 30 in the packet. Racist Easter eggs. Because they're all white, John. Racist Easter eggs, dear. Milky Way. It's wrong. It should be banned in this country and all others. Thank you. Let's have a look here. Good morning to Juan, who says very funny. Well, that is what this is. A little funny show, my darling. Okay. I love it when people don't get the jokes. Like social media, John. He hasn't quite got that yet. Think about it, John. He's over there on Periscope. Thank you, weird citizen. Let's have a look. Oh, gosh. Poor Christina had to work till 4:30 in the morning yesterday. Did you really? Gosh, that's too much. See, I used to DJ till 6 in the morning. I couldn't do it anymore. Gave up the DJing anyway. I just do a little bit on a Saturday. Paul says no notifications again. Joanna, did you get your notifications? I think Joanna did, so it's got to be... If Joanna did, it must be at your end. Nice one, John. John's just got it. John, I'm not politically correct at all. I like to think of myself as not racist at all. I don't really hate anyone unless you're walking around cutting people's heads off or shooting them in your head. I might quite hate you then. But I'm not politically correct either, and I like to try and turn the whole politically correct thing on its head and throw it back at the people who keep screaming it at us, because it's just a bit of a laugh. It's just a little laugh, and that's all it is. Yeah, Joanna got the notification. Paul, it must be your end. Perhaps if you unsubscribe and resubscribe, that might fix it. John's just got up. Are you for real? 20 to 10 in the morning. I'm up at 8 in the morning, you know. Good morning to the lovely Peter Robinson, who wanted the speedboat, but that's just what I could have won. Well, that wouldn't mean any good to you, Peter. What would you have done with a speedboat? You know, hooked it up on your balcony or something? There's no river near you, is there? By the way, owning a boat isn't, you know, you can't just like own a boat and leave it in the Thames. You have to pay for that, don't you? You have to pay to tie it up outside your outside by the river or something like that. Very strange. They make a lot. I don't know how expensive that is. Karen and Louise, I don't know if they're still with us at the moment, but they live on one of those long boats on the canal. They live on one of those. And I was saying to them a couple of weeks ago now, how much does it cost to tie up? She said, well, if you move, I think if you keep moving and parking in a different... Parking? Is that what you call it? Parking in a new place all the time, then it doesn't cost you anything. So I'm not quite sure how that works. Juan, colour right behind you. We like colour, Juan. We like colour. Colour. If you stay in your range, then you don't have to pay for the Slimming World. Correct. Once you've got to your target range weight in Slimming World, you stick within those £6 and you don't pay anymore. Don't cost me anything to be there anymore. In fact, there's quite a few target members there now. Linda, who is queen of all of Slimming World, has got us all down to our target weights, dear. I don't know how she's making any money. Do they get a wage or what? The Slimming World consultants. I'm not quite sure. SOS Gregorian, good morning to you, sir. Andy Baker, remember the Sweet 2 blackjacks? No, I never liked those. I like the other ones. There were blackjacks, and there were, what were the multicoloured ones? Little, like, different, what were they called? They were the same size as black. There were blackjacks, which were black. They were a little bit, they weren't black currant flavour. Were they liquid or something like that? I didn't like the taste of those. But they had a fruity one. I like the fruity ones, which were very nice. Canals, narrowboat. There you go, narrowboat. She's got a narrowboat on the canal. Is that right, Louise and Karen? You keep moving, so you don't have to pay to tie it up, whatever that's called. People used to pay my sister to tie them up. That was another story altogether, though. Mooring fees. Thank you, Peter. Mooring fees. Mooring fees. That's what it is. Fruit salad. Thank you, Andy. That's correct. Fruit salad were the other one. So you had blackjacks and fruit salad. Some people had a mixture of two. Some people preferred the black ones. Some people preferred the fruity ones. I like the fruit ones. Fruit salad. When's the last time I had one of those? It was so annoying in the summer, wasn't it? The paper used to stick to the thing, and you'd be peeling it off. And then, a bit of paper stuck to the sweet. Then you try and get that off with your nail. Then you get a bit of sweet under your nail, wouldn't you? Oh, they were a nightmare, they were. Best thing to do would be to put them in the fridge, you see. Once they were cold, and then you could easily get the wrapper off. But then, when you tried to eat them, they would just break in your mouth, rather than be nice and chewy. Used to drag a few fillings out of your mouth as well, weren't they? The old fruit salads. Yes. Let's have a look over on the Periscope. I think you should put a picture of Ant and Dec behind you on your montage. What? In replacement of the great Queen or Barry Manilow? I don't think so, dear. I don't think so. I can't lie to you. They're okay, but I'm not a massive fan of Ant and Dec. I don't think they can hold a show together if there's no auto cue. I honestly don't. And I say that because they did this big thing on a boat. I think it was either last year or the year before. And the auto cue system stopped working. That's the thing that TV presenters have in front of them. And it's got the words coming up and they read them word for word. Well, that clearly stopped working. And their earphones weren't working. And they had to go to a commercial break because they didn't know what they were doing. Whereas Bruce Forsyth would have just carried on. Who's that comedian bloke who does on ITV? On BBC One sometimes. Colour. On Saturday nights. Oh, his name is gone. He's got a side part in. He's a bit chubby. He's quite funny. I reckon he'd be able to carry on. He'd be able to carry on. Louise says, Ant's always looked a bit sly. Yeah, and Dec is a bit smarmy, I think is the word. Smarmy. McIntyre, thank you, Andy. Mr. McIntyre. I reckon he'd be able to carry on if stuff went wrong, but I don't think those two can. All right. Let's have a look there. So, no picture of Ant and Dec going behind me, I'm afraid. More likely a picture of Dad's Army, because I'm old school, you see, John. I'm a bit old school. Dad's Army, I'd have them behind me. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? We like that. We like that. Fruit Loops. No, it wasn't Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops. Are they a breakfast cereal, Fruit Loops? All different colours, aren't they? I have. What do I have for breakfast? I have overnight oats in breakfast. So that's like a jar, like a large jam jar, and it's got layers that I make myself. Fat-free yoghurt, porridge oats, blueberries. Fat-free yoghurt, porridge oats, blueberries. Fat-free yoghurt, put the top on, give it a little bit of a shake. Well, don't shake it too hard because you break the blueberries and then they go all mouldy, which aren't very nice. Weird City Decision said he could survive. Could Dec survive without Ant? Don't know. Don't know. Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. Fruit polos were the best. Can you still get those, Paul? Fruit polos. I remember those as well. Have you seen Joey Essex in the 5-Star Hotel programme that's airing at the moment? No, I haven't. My nephew was a big fan of Joey Essex. He thought the world shone out of his arse. He really did. I was a big fan of Tony Blackburn. Still am. The biggest, best DJ of all time. Da-da-da! Tony Blackburn! Yes, we like that. Okay, PJ and Drunken. Yes, good morning, Merlin. Merlin says, I can't use auto cue. You can tell if I was using one because my eyes move left to right as I would read what it says. I think it must be quite close, mustn't it? All the news people read those. There's nothing written down here. Here is, would you like to see my preparation this morning? There it is. Hang on. Let me see if there's no swear words. There you go. Look, that is my preparation this morning. Look. Look at that. That's it. It's not very good, is it, really? Stuff I'm watching on the telly at the moment. We were talking just a moment ago. John, I think you are new to the show, so we do a little bit of serious and we do mostly funny, a little bit of serious. John says Dec could only survive with Stephen Mulhern. Yeah, quite possibly. Now, he's not too bad, Stephen Mulhern. He's okay. But who's I can't remember what his name is now. Who's the bloke who's looks a bit weird and he does a bit of a spoof of Countdown? I'm not keen on him. Or Keith Lemon is my most unfavourite, unfunny person. I don't get Keith Lemon at all. I suppose it's just who you get and who you don't. But anyway, I've been watching a little bit more on Netflix. I've come to the end of an excellent series called 7 Seconds. Now, this is about a policeman who accidentally knocks a young boy off his bike, a young black boy, and his governor comes along with 2 others, and they see what's happened and they tell him to drive off, so he does. And the boy is left in the ditch to die, and it all goes to court and everything happens. And it's a bit like, you know, all the white cops are like racial, what's the word now? We're picking on the young black people, and it all goes to court. And basically the cop gets off. The cop gets off, and they said he might get 30 years, then he might get 8 years. He got 30 days. He got 30 days. So that's something I've written, and I've just finished watching that. So that's 7 Seconds. It's an excellent TV series, and it does make you think. Okay, that's on Netflix. Altered Carbon. Anyone watch that on Netflix? I've just finished watching that. I kind of lost that at the end. It was a little bit too much. Lost the thing at the end. Lee says racially. Thank you very much. Racially, they're a little bit racist against the black people. The white people were sticking together, and it was really sad. It was awful. Had me in tears a few times. But do watch that one. It does make you think. 7 Seconds. That this sort of thing, of course, does still go on. Of course, in old days, it was much worse. Now, my favourite programme that I'm watching at the moment on Netflix again is Mr. Selfridge. There were 4 series made altogether. I'm now up to series 4. I think episode 4 or 5, something like that. But a few, but a few shows ago, Mr. Selfridge is about Selfridges and how it all started, and it's a great programme. Really, really good. Anyway, I'm coming towards, I think, the middle of the end of it now. And there again, it's very white, but that's how it was then, because people hadn't been not imported. People hadn't immigrated here, perhaps. Immigrated here, whatever. And there weren't many black people around, or Chinese, or anyone else, come to think of it. You know, it was all very white English. And Selfridges is set up. And a job comes up for a seamstress, you know, someone who does sewing and all that business. And there's like all these girls are sitting quietly waiting to be interviewed, and a black girl comes in. And as she walks in, all the others are like this, you know, looking down their noses at her. Anyway, she goes for the interview. There's a bloke and a woman who are doing the interviews, and so she turns up, and the bloke's like that, you know, I think he's got his glasses on, I can't remember, like that. The bloke's like this. All right, and who have we got next? And it's like this, like that. Do you know what I mean? Shocked that a black person had turned up. That's how it was then. So they had this interview, and it's like, have you got any qualifications? She's just like, no. Okay, well, where did you learn to do this? Well, I didn't. I taught myself. All right. Okay, then. Well, thank you. We'll let you know. Now, the woman who's standing next to him is in charge of the fashion department, and as she walks away, the woman's looking at her. She's white as well. Her name in the series is May. Lovely lady, really posh, lovely lady. And she's walking away. She says, "Excuse me, just before you go, who made your dress?" And she looked round. She said, "Well, I did, ma'am." "And how did you make that?" "Well, I got the design out of a paper, and I cut the material, and I added a few bits myself." She said, "What about the sleeves?" She said, "Oh, yes, I added these myself and all that." She says, "Right." She says, "So you did all that yourself from a design?" She said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "Well, yes, you've got the job." So that was nice until she started work. And she went in on her first day. This is in Mr. Selfridge. She went in on her first day, and all the other girls are sitting there. And as she comes in, they're like that. And they're just awful to her. No one shouting names or anything like that. There was another occasion, she'd been there a while, and she used to sit in the corner on her own. Oh, it made me cry. Lots of things make me cry. Just stuff on the telly makes me cry. And she's sitting in the corner on her own doing this sewing, looks very happy with her work. But all the others are sitting just slightly to the left of her. And they're all talking to each other while they're doing the work. No one's talking to her. No one's talking to her at all. And then the lady who's not the top lady, but the lady who's in charge of the room says, "Good news, girls, you've all worked hard this week, so I'm taking you all out to tea." And they're all like, "Yeah." And the black girl is smiling in the corner there. "Oh, we're going out to tea and all that." Anyway, so then the woman who's in charge of the room has these boxes. She said, "Oh, so-and-so," I can't remember her name, I'm afraid. "So-and-so, could you take these boxes down to the storeroom for us?" "Yes, ma'am." So she takes these boxes down to the storeroom, drops them in there, comes back, and all the other cows have gone. They've already gone without her. Isn't that awful? And I'm like, that is... I was shouting at the telly. Just horrible. And we've, of course, come a long way since then. I would like to see a time when there is no, distinction between, even we had a black president. I would like to see the time where we have another black president, but it's not called a black president. It's just called a president. End of. So the whole world goes colourblind. Will we ever get to that? I don't know. But it was awful watching that, how that girl is being treated. I'm not at the end of it yet, so hopefully something better will come along with that. I don't know. It's getting really interesting though now, Mr. Selfridge. He's now owing, he's got a big gambling debt at the moment. That's where I've got to at the moment. So I don't know if any of you saw that, but it's just awful. And I was telling someone that on Monday, and he said it still goes on today, and I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Just dreadful. It made me so sad watching that. How people must have been treated when they first came here. I don't think... With children, though, it doesn't really happen. I don't remember. We had black people at a school again in the 1970s. I mean, it wasn't just one or two. There were a few, not many, black people at school. But we never had any racialness. They were just other children. They were not black children. They were other children, weren't they? But to see what used to happen then is really heartbreaking. It really is. Let's go back a bit there, my darlings. Where are we now? Fox's Glacier Mints, Alan says. I haven't had those. I didn't know such a thing existed. Fruit Fox's Glacier Mints. Interesting. Did I go on a date last night? No, as usual, they backed out at the last minute. Happens every time. And you wonder why. The crap people come out with all the time. Oh, there's someone for everyone. You haven't met the right one yet. It's the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my life, that expression. How many of you are on your own and still get told that? Don't you get... And I do think the people that say that actually think they're doing you a favour by... I've just noticed some dust on there. Just a moment. I can't bear dust on here, love. It's the top of the screens that seem to get dust in. There's a bit of dust right on that shelf there. That's better than... it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, there's someone for everyone. No, you're doing yourself more damage, dear, saying stuff like that. Load of old crap. Juan doesn't have Netflix. Oh, what's a shame. Intelligence on Netflix. Haven't seen that one. Let's just write that down. Intelligence. Netflix. Because I'm coming to the end of some of my shows now, which I do like it. I watch more Netflix now than anything else. I've got stuff. I haven't watched Holby City from last night yet. Is Jack Naylor in it this week? As her back. Oh, dear. Hello. Selfridge's series was a good one. Oh, it was really excellent, Christina. I know I'm coming to the end of it now, and there's no more once I finish. I'm not going to make any more because he dies, doesn't he? Can't make any more. Andy says, it reminds me of a film I watched, 12 Years a Slave. Lovely written film, but couldn't finish. It was heartbreaking. Yes. And what was the programme? Roots. Wasn't that remade last year, Roots? I watched that as well. just the black slaves and what they used to do to them. The whipping, there was whipping and this bloke and the state of his back. I don't know how he survived. Just awful, awful. Christina's just watched a film, Mercy Street, an American Civil War hospital. Haven't seen that one. Arctic Blast is a great film on Netflix as well. Thank you, Alan. Don't know that one. Arctic Blast. Let me write these things down. Arctic Blast. We'll do a little bit more news in a moment, boys and girls. Joanna says, when your nose itches, you're going to kiss a fool. No one wants to kiss me anymore, dear. You must know that. Lee says we haven't come far enough, sadly. No, but I think we're getting there. When you watch Star Trek, original series was way ahead of its time when they had not only black, but Chinese. I don't know if they were Chinese. They could have been Japanese. You know what I mean. But Asian. They had Asian people in there, black people, all sorts. There were women in charge of things. That was unheard of in those times. That was way, way ahead of its time, wasn't it, Star Trek? Lee says, my mum was obsessed with Roots. Yeah, it was hard going, some of it, though. That Roots, I tell you. Right, Easter coming up round the corner. Check out this one. In Waitrose, boys and girls, an avocado-shaped Easter egg produced by Waitrose has sold out across the country after hordes of millennials rushed to snap it up. Now, what is a millennial? I always thought a millennial was someone born in the year 2000, but it's not, is it? Why do they have that term millennial? Does that mean they came of age in 2000? So in that case, they'd be... Now, what's coming of age? Is that 16, 18 or 21? Shall we say it's 18? Let's say it's 18. So 18, so millennials... So they are now 18, 28, 29, 35... So they're now 36. Is a millennial someone who's 36 years old? Is that right? The story goes on in this morning's Daily Mail. The £8 treat is designed to look like half of the fruit with a Belgian dark chocolate shell, white chocolate middle with green colouring to look like flesh. We like a bit of flesh, don't we? And an inner cocoa dusted stone. It sounds delightful, doesn't it? Although it's not a stone. It was launched just a month ago, but has been flying off the shelves thanks to young buyers obsessed with the trendy food. Oh, it's the young people again. Oh, trendy. Isn't it? Trendy. Demand is so great that avocado eggs have sold out in stores across the country and were not available online either. I bet they're selling them on eBay. Just a moment. Let's have a look. eBay. People do this. People do this. They see something that's going, and then they go and buy a load and sell them on eBay. What did I say? Avocado egg. Let's see if anything comes up. No. Oh no, nothing. Hang on. Waitrose avocado egg. Got anything? Yes, 10 quid. Well, they were selling for £8. 10 quid. There's one, £8 there, £8 there, £18. See, that's what they do. Oh, well, there's 3 on eBay, so not too many to go. But often people do that. They buy, they see something selling out quickly, so they go and buy it very quickly. I don't know if I like the sound of it or not, to be honest. The story goes on. One of the Easter egg buyers at Waitrose says, our chocolate avocados have been a phenomenal hit, with customers who are hunting for them in Waitrose branches across the UK. I must rush down there now. I might give one away. If I can find one, I might give one away. Although some of our branches may not have had them in stock today, we are expecting the majority of shops to have some more by the weekend. The Waitrose chocolate avocado. I have to say, it looks absolutely delicious. It was. What the hell does that say? Avofic inodas will need to be ficinados What the hell does that mean? Avoficinados will need to be quick as they are selling fast and we expect them all to be snapped up by Easter. It's the latest example of the avocado feature which has gripped the nation over the past few years. No, you don't. If you're on Slimming World, you don't want an avocado. Absolutely not. No, they are full of fat. It's one of those very few things that come straight off a tree or out of the ground that are not advised to eat. Avocado, they're full of fat. They now sell... Can you believe this? I find this hard to believe. It says in this same story, avocados now outsell oranges in Britain. Hospitals have reported a surge in avocado hand cuts caused when people try to remove stones with a knife, and a miniature versions have been stocked at Tesco due to a global shortage. Isn't it funny, isn't it, how people suddenly go mad about one thing? And it's like this programme. It's like, I mean, the entire world is going mad because of this chat show. Did you know that? Millions of people every day wait to hear what little old me's got to say. Isn't that strange? Isn't that strange? I think maybe one day I may even be more popular than certain other people in the world. Huh? The Waitrose chocolate does not contain any real avocado or its flavour, but seems to have captured the spirit of the age. So there we are. So more are going to be delivered if you want a Waitrose, something that looks a bit different. A Waitrose avocado Easter eggs. They should be back in Waitrose very soon. Okay. Lee says, have you seen the Twix Easter eggs? It has a caramel and biscuit inside, like a giant egg-shaped Twix. Yeah, I've seen that. Now, that looks quite nice. I quite like a Twix. Do you? I eat very, very little chocolate now. Very, very little chocolate. Last year, this time last year, I was having a bar every day of the large £1 Galaxy, which I saw yesterday for £1.47 in the co-op just down there. That's gone up a bit, hasn't it? That was £1. They were selling those for £1 a while ago. I was having one of those a day. Shocking. And vanilla milkshakes. I got a taste for vanilla milkshake, and I was having one every day on the way home from work. Terrible, really, isn't it? That's why I had to go to Slimming World. Millennials apparently are born between 1981 and 1997. So 81, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There, that makes sense, doesn't it? So they're about 18, 19 years old. They're millennials. Have you ever spoke to millennials? God, I nearly swore. They're boring. They're such boring people. They've usually got black-rimmed glasses on, and they're hard left on the politics, and they have no sense of humour. Don't find that very funny. Sorry, I don't find that funny. They are so boring, millennials. They really... Are you one, Lee? Are you a millennial, Lee? We like the Twix Easter eggs. We do like the Twix Easter eggs very much. I might request one from my sister. No, Cadbury's Easter eggs. I like the they're different. They're different now to when I was a child. I tell you that now. These Easter eggs, like the flake Easter egg, just take the flake. The chocolate used to be this thick. I'm not kidding you. Let me see what I've got. This is a calendar done by my lovely neighbour. He made a calendar this year. Look at this. Took all photos and had a calendar made. I think Photoshop, was it called? Photo box. You can have your own calendars made. It's good, isn't it? So the chocolate, yeah, that'd do. Used to be that thick, maybe a little bit thicker than that on flake Easter egg. Now it's like bloody paper. I mean, it couldn't get any thinner now if they tried. Might as well be eating a couple of hairs. So thin. It used to be that thick when I was a child. It was lovely. Oh, dear. Let's have a look. Oh, let's go back a bit. I'm missing the... there we are. Just... Hello, Heidi. Watching on the... Heidi's got a new tablet. What have you got, Heidi? How lovely. Heidi says, I've seen 12 Years a Slave. A very powerful film. Haven't seen that. Let's write these things down. 12 Years a Slave. I'm watching quite a lot of telly at the moment while I'm at home at night time, kind of waiting, hoping to get another couple of karaoke jobs because I get so bored sitting at home. Funnily enough, I was talking to my mate about this last night. I seem to be in a transition period now, whereas I've worked every night for so many years, and now I've got these nights off, and I'm finding it hard going. Sitting at home on a night off, I have my usual afternoon sleep. Then I get up again around about 6 o'clock, and I've got nothing to do. Nothing to do. I can't just keep coming up here and doing shows. You'd get fed up. 2 shows a day, wouldn't you? He said, well, why don't you do a radio show in the morning and a chat show at night? And I'm kind of thinking, well, we've kind of built up our little chats in the morning now, haven't we? And it would be a shame to move them to another time. Although I do like to do one sort of nighttime chat show a week. So I don't know what I'm going to do, really. I'm a little bit bored at home. Let's have a look here. Alan, how many kisses do you get at a karaoke night? 20, 30? None, usually, Alan. It depends what you mean by a kiss. Is it, do you count that? Or do you count that? So I don't get any. I get a few, but no. How many do you get, Alan? You seem to spend a lot of your time trying to get some. So I've written that down, Heidi. Thank you for that, darling. $6 Million Man. Do you remember that? How did the music go? It was good music to that, wasn't it? Thank you. Peter says it was indeed people have come of age since the millennium. So, yes, that makes sense, doesn't it? Around about 1982, 1983, Peter. Well, I'm afraid you're not one of those, are you, Peter Lovey? No, the same as I'm not, eh? Thank you, Andy. Oh, a lot of people explaining what millennial is there. Good morning, Ross. Morning, Ross. Long time no see. Hope you're well, sir. About time you come and sung at my karaoke again, sir. Juan says those feature films anywhere is all about the end. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Christina reckons I'm an international man of mystery. Well, I don't know about mystery. Don't know about mystery. Mystery is when you don't know anything about someone, isn't it? Millennials don't have any sort of clue. That's right, they don't. They think they know everything, millennials, dear. Oh, and don't they go on and on. Paul says he's an old git. It is all about the thickness of the chocolate. Of the chocolate, I'm assuming you mean, Lee, do you? Samsung Galaxy A6, is that your little new... is that a new model, is it? The Samsung thing? I'm sure that'll do you right. Am I looking particularly good on your new tablet? I do hope so. Right, let's have a look. Rocky Star is in New York. Good morning, Rocky Star. Welcome to the show. Now, let's have a look here. What else have I got here? Oh, yes. So I'm watching this programme on... there was a Facebook Live came up in my feed this morning. When I get up about 8 o'clock in the morning, usually. I have breakfast and I go downstairs and I watch BBC News, BBC Business Live, which I quite like. And it had two nice, pretty ladies on there this morning. It's nice to look at nice-looking people. The other day, there were 2 old codgers on there, about my age. Who wants to look at them on the telly? That's probably why I haven't got a job on there. But there we are. I could do that Business Live in this, couldn't I? Good morning from BBC Breakfast Time. I'm Chris Reardon. I could read the auto cue out. I reckon I could read an auto cue, okay, without you realising it's an auto cue. Mind you, the people on the BBC are very good at that. They are really good at that. When you're watching this couple, actually, I think there's a lot of ad lib going on there. It's a lady and a man on in the morning. I can't think of their names before they go on to the Business Live. And when they do the Business Live, the presenters seem to change on there. And they had today two lovely ladies on there who entertained me. But I think they probably do read auto cue, but it doesn't look like they are. Whereas if you turn across onto Sky News, someone like Kay Burley, I mean, she's just awful. She is horrendous, absolutely as cold as she's like a robot. I can't understand how but she must have. I wonder how she kept that job all those years. You know what I mean? Yes. Anyway, so I think I could do that. Anyway, so I turned on the mobile phone. I'm looking at it, and up come this thing that was on a boat live, LBC Live. And on there, it was a group of fishermen who were about to... so they've got the LBC reporter on there. and a group of fishermen who were about to dump loads of fish in the Thames outside the Houses of Parliament in like a protest, something to do with EU quotas on fish and all this business. And they had there was an LBC bloke doing some sort of interview, but he was boring, you know. I don't understand why these TV and radio stations have so many boring people on there. There are people who aren't boring on there, on LBC. Steve Allen, of course, not boring. Nick Ferrari, not boring. Clive Ball, not boring. I find Matt Stadlen the most boring one on there at the moment. He's on at night. Oh, God, and he looks like a millennial. You know the sort. Boring. Knows it all, but no personality or comedy value at all. I know it's a serious show, but when you turn on the BBC and you have Question Time on, who's that bloke who does Question Time? Oh God, what's his name now? Anyway, so that is a serious programme, but now and again here throw a funny in there. You listen to Matt Stadlen at night, there's no funny. It's just not fun. And when he does try and be funny, it's not. So he's on there. And who's the other one I don't like? Ian Dale. Not funny at all. No comedy value whatsoever. Yes, he's doing a hard-hitting political programme. He's so boring. So this interviewer came out and he fitted into that category, didn't he? Boring. There was nothing funny or a little bit jovial about it. And they were talking about why they were dumping this fish in there. But more disappointingly, there was a really fit bloke in a white T-shirt who seemed to be steering the boat. I don't know what's that called, steering the boat. They didn't even go near him. Okay, he needed a bit of a shave. He had one of those beards down to here. He had a tight white T-shirt on with his back to us, and all you could see was like the back of his neck and his shoulders. And I thought, come on, hurry up and interview him. I waited and waited and waited. Nothing. Very, very disappointing. David Dimbleby, thank you, Heidi. Now, there's a serious programme on the BBC, okay? But now and again, he will throw a funny in it to keep it interesting. And there's these people on, so many people on the telly. Kay Burley, let's go back to Kay Burley. Have you ever seen her try and be a little bit funny? No. Again, swapping in Sky. Let's stay on Sky News. There's a bloke on in the morning that looks like he's had about 2,000 Botox injections on. He usually sits on the left-hand side if you're looking at the telly screen. And that's obviously Sky News, serious programme. But he's quite natural. Now and again, he throws a funny or two in there. There's a bloke on the BBC News, and he's funny because he's so bad at trying to be funny. His name's Simon. He's on 2 o'clock BBC News. Simon McCoy, something like that it is. And he's there, and he does, obviously, the serious news. And now and again, he tries to throw a funny in, and it just doesn't work. But in his case, he has a personality. So the very fact that his funny hasn't been funny is funny. Do you get it? But there's people on there with no personality. Can we see people, please, and listen to people on the radio with personality? Eamon Holmes, I spoke about him yesterday. He's now on talk radio God, that man, does that man ever sleep? Top man, Eamon Holmes. I've never met him. Never met him or anything like that. But he's now on talk radio, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. And he's good. He just talks to you like he's talking to you, like I'm talking to you now, like we're having a conversation, you know? And he does the serious bit. And he's got this dry sense of humour. Very, very easygoing Irishman. Maybe we should just leave all radio and telly to Irish people. Terry Wogan was fantastic, wasn't he? Paul says, are you on about Steve Dixon on Sky News? You're right about his face. I don't know what his name is, actually. But it doesn't move. But it's okay, because he does have a personality. He's a bit smarmy, isn't he? But I like him. I like him. If that's his name, Steve Dixon, then that's the one. He can do serious and he can throw in funnies as well at the same time. You know? So there we are. Hugh Edwards is my favourite. Now, Hugh Edwards, I don't think he throws any funnies in. He's serious all the time, but you can tell he has a personality. Can't you? Big difference, big difference.
Hi there, Chris.
My phone just spoke to me. Yes, what do you want? Did you hear that? My phone just spoke to me. It says, "Hi there, Chris. Someone is listening." How strange and mysterious it all is. Someone's listening to me. Heidi says, do you have to go back to Kay Burley? Oh, she's just dreadful. Get her off the telly. But she'll always be on there, earning her £200,000 a year or whatever it is, just by walking around and upsetting everyone. Adam Bolton. No, Adam Bolton's the really fat one, Mark. No, he's just horrible. He's horrible to look at and listen to. He can get off and all. Adam Bolton, you've had your turn, mate. Retire. Why can't these people just retire and leave them to someone young and vibrant like myself? And a very good morning to you and welcome to Sky News. I'm Chris Reardon. But you see, I'd be laughing. I'd be laughing at the fact that ITV have put on Fast and Furious instead of Ant and Dec on Saturday night this week. Good morning, Dino. Stephen Dixon, thank you. So it is Stephen Dixon in the morning. Yeah, he's all right, he is. I quite like Stephen Dixon. Andy says Kay Burley is sour-faced. Is she a mother? Just imagine her bringing out your breakfast in the morning as a little child. There's your breakfast. Eat your breakfast. Alan says I'd make a good weatherman with me things like that. Have I got a favourite weather person? Yes, the woman on the BBC, the one who's always smiling, except she weren't smiling when we had all that snow forecast. I can never remember her name. She's lovely, Scottish lady, blonde hair. She's lovely, she is. And my favourite presenter on Business Live is Ben. Oh, he's gorgeous. But he's got this cheeky smile, and I think he's got a slightly broken tooth in the middle, which makes it even sexier. Do you know Ben? I love all these people on there. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin's enjoying the jacket this morning. Oh, we got a couple of messages there. Good. Right. In the Daily Mirror this morning. What's the time? 10:15. How long have we been chatting here, though, before this? Oh, we must go soon, dear. Things that have got to go swimming yet. Cheryl. This is in the Daily Mirror this morning. Now, there's a picture of Cheryl. I don't think she's got any makeup on in this picture. Have a look in the Daily Mirror. Have a look. In fact, actually, I can post this. Can I post it on there while you're chatting? Oh, I think I can here. Let's just... Right, have a look at that. Have a look at that. Sorry, it's only on Facebook. I can't post it on the other things. But in the Daily Mirror this morning, Cheryl is looking back into getting onto TV after dumping her long-time record label, Polydor. Why is that then, love? Did they get fed up remixing your stuff so that you sounded like you were in tune? Anyone see Cheryl Cole ever sing live? Anyone? Anyone seen Cheryl Cole sing live? Is that her name? What's her name this week? Who's she married to this week? So it's been Cheryl Cole, Carol Shavinsky Spaghetti Bolognese, and she's going out with a young lad now from No Erection, isn't she? No, sorry, No Direction. One Direction. The mum of one is said to be close to signing a deal with a top telly agent that represents Strictly Judge Bruno Toniali, Mel Gidrock, and the One Show Alex Jones. Oh, she's not going to be on the One Show, is she? Oh, my God, blimey. The top TV firm, Independent 360, are likely to negotiate a deal for Cheryl Cole, Vicini Spaghetti Bolognese, Cole, Liam Payne, to replace Nicole Scherzinger on the X Factor panel. Can't we have someone decent on these programmes? Why do we have to have these young girls who look pretty all the time? Can we have Lulu, please? Please, can we have Lulu on the X Factor? I might actually take some notice then of their comments. Someone who's been in the industry for a reasonable amount of years and sings live. She's said to be hoping to get a spot as a judge on the pilot for Simon Cowell's new BBC dance show, The Greatest Dance. Oh, this is a new thing, isn't it? Oh, not another panel of bloody judges. Oh, Why can't we have it like Opportunity Knocks? Yeah, we have remember the thing on the back there, the scoreboard, the clapometer. Like that. Cheryl knows she cannot depend on music to give her profile the profile she craves. Oh, really? Surprise, surprise. A TV source told The Sun, although this is in the Daily Mirror this morning. The source added her chart career is clearly stalling, so bagging high-impact TV roles has been the priority. She needs to get some top gigs to return her to the standing she enjoyed during her first stint on The X Factor. Yeah, she hadn't really had much since then, has she? Much success of anything. But anyway, there's a picture of her in the Daily Mirror this morning. Well, I don't think she's got any makeup on. Oh, she's aged here. She's got a bit of blush. She's got that stupid pose that young that sort of 30-year-olds keep doing in their pictures. Look, pose. Let's take my picture. What do they look like? Have you seen them doing selfies in pubs? Endless selfie. Oh, quick selfie. How many pictures of you do you want us to look at, dear? You've got to give us something else. All the time. Oh, come and have a selfie. I know a few people like that. Not just one. Anyway, do have a look at the picture of her and you'll see how much she's aged. Shocking, dear. How they aged. Lee says she should have used a Snapchat dodgy filter. The duck face, is that what it's called? Weird City Citizen, the duck face. I said on a show a while ago, there was a time. Well, I mean, it's so easy to take a picture now, isn't it? It really is. When I was a child, even as an adult, you know, if you wanted to take a picture, well, first of all, you had to go down to the chemist before the supermarket started and buy a roll of film. And you put this film in the camera, wind it on gently. My dad had a wonderful camera. He had a little winding thing on the top. Wind it into position until you got the little number 1 at the top. And then you'd go out and you would select carefully your picture. And generally you wouldn't be in it. It would be a picture of something. I don't know. Like outside there I can see trees. Like maybe a picture in the forest. And you'd carefully, oh no, it doesn't look quite right. Oh yeah, just about, yeah, go on then, I'll do that. And you would take a picture of something that you'd taken time to work out what you thought looked good. And you'd be able to do that, I think, a maximum of 36 times. So 36 pictures. You could have this film in there for a few weeks. Carefully selecting what you wanted to say. Oh, is it a picture of my grandchildren? Okay, just move over the side there. That's it, a little bit closer. Okay, now smile. And you'd wait for the smile. Wait for the smile. Yeah, that should be all right. Then at the end of 36 pictures, you'd wind it on, take the film out, put it in a little envelope and send it off. Or take it down to the chemist, and a week or 2 later, you would get these pictures. Can you remember this excitement? Going into the chemist and being given that envelope. Kodak. There you go, sir. £10, please. There's your £10. And you'd be outside. You wouldn't be able to wait till you got home. You'd be outside the shop now, opening this envelope. And the smell of all the chemicals, probably very bad for you. As you looked at these pictures. Oh, wow, yeah, they've come out really well. All that excitement just for 36 pictures. And as I say, you'd always taken time and trouble over each picture to get the right thing, you know, like that you are. And I think it's become too easy. They sit there, I'm telling you now, in pubs and that, oh, click, 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 click. And then they don't even upload The best ones. They then upload the entire album onto Facebook. It's the same as I've done. Same as I've done. You want to see the pictures I've got. And there are hundreds and hundreds of pictures. But they then upload the entire album, including all the blurry ones and all those. And they're just awful. And they're in every single picture. Every single... Ha, 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 ha. Every single picture they're in. It's not just one person who does this. I've seen it time and time again. They're in the pub, every 5 minutes they've got up to go and have another selfie with someone else. How sad is that? Can we not see something interesting? Perhaps you went to India, we'd like to see the Taj Mahal. Or you came to London, is there a picture of the river? Or the pub that you were in? Not the one of you sitting in the chair in the pub like that. Ha 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 ha! Lee says you never knew how it turns out until it got developed. Yeah, it's wonderful. It was so exciting. Now it's just too instant. It's too instant. Paul says he was listening to Steve Allen this morning, top talk presenter on LBC. He's starting calling the royal couple Rachel and Henry because that's what Harry and Meghan's real name is. Rachel and Henry. Weird City Citizen says, yes, I missed that. Pictures meant something. They were special. Pictures are not special anymore, are they? Lee says it was an anxious wait. It was waiting to see. And if the picture was bad, in certain chemists, they put a little sticker on, wouldn't they? Not light enough. Too bright, something like that. And it was always be the one that you didn't take. Yeah, you're right. Good morning, Shy. Oh, good morning, Shy. You're right, darling. What was happening on Friday 2 weeks ago? Oh, I can't remember now. What was happening? Oh, yeah, that you had all your cameras out then, didn't you, Shy? Cameras, selfie. Selfie. I know who you mean. It's not just her who does it, though. There's loads of people do it. All they do all night long is take bloody pictures of themselves. I don't care how good looking you are. We don't want to see 5,000 pictures of you doing this. Just have a look on anyone's Facebook profile. I guarantee you won't have to go very far to find profiles with just endless pictures of the same person on there. It's madness. Lee says he forgot about the little stickers that you used to get on the pictures telling you what you'd done wrong on it. Let's have a look there. Apparently I've been on for over an hour now. Thank you. Carol Kirkwood is one of my favourite weather presenters. She's the blonde lady. She's not young. Well, she is young. She's about 45, I think, Carol. She's about 45-ish, something like that. She's my favourite weather person at the moment. On the telly. Thank you, Heidi, as well, Telland. Andy used to like Wincy Willis. Was on GMTV. God, that's a while ago now, wasn't it? Thank you, Mark. Carol Kirkwood as well. That's right. Where are we now? Kevin says, can we see you in your swimming trunks? Now, why would you want that, lovey? I don't have trunks anyway. I'm too fat for trunks. I may have lost the weight, but trunks are for young people with slim bodies. And I don't think you're one of them either, are you, Kevin, lovey? Eh? Can you see yourself in a pair of Speedos? Well, please don't ask me to put mine on. I have shorts. I have shorts. If I swim... Actually, I've lost so much weight. Sometimes I'm swinging along and they start slipping down. That'd give the old bag in the swimming pool a nice time, wouldn't it? The one who goes at like 3 miles an hour in the fast lane. There's always one, isn't there? She is. She can't even keep over to the side so you can't get past her. Some old bag in the swimming pool. She comes in the swimmers. There's two sides to the swimming pool. You see, there's a side for like families and slow people, and there's a side for people who want to do lengths. She goes in that side. About 3 miles an hour, dear. Shocking. Thank you. Juan, I'm not reading that out. Dino hates the one show. I do as well. Bring back Nationwide. That's what I say, Dino. With Michael Barrett. Press your buttons now. Ben says, photographic composition is dead. Oh, he's got some big words this morning, Ben. photographic composition. I love it. They used to. I mean, I must say, I think when I'm taking a photograph, I'm one of those people who's like, yep, okay, right, let's take it now. Whereas the other ones, click, 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 click. All the time, all night long. Give it a rest. Are people like that on holiday as well? They are actually, aren't they? You know, instead of seeing a picture of, let's go back to the Taj Mahal. I've never been there. I'd love to see that. Instead of seeing a picture of the Taj Mahal, you know, what they do is stand in front of the bloody thing and they've got a picture of them and you're just about in the corner of the picture. You can see the spike. Is there a spike on the top of the Taj Mahal? But their entire fat face has covered the blooming building, dear. Oh dear. Do I remember the 110 camera? Yes, it was a cartridge, wasn't it? A long cartridge. You just used to drop it in. That was a very easy one to do. Good. My favourite film of all my time, Pokemon. I haven't seen that at all. Good morning, Louise. You're late with us this morning, aren't you, my love? Very late this morning. Louise and Karen, here's one for you, Chris. Just had a text from Karen. She's working on Judy Garland today. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. I won't sing too long. People tend to switch off. While she's outside having a fag, Renee Zellweger said hello to her. Well, who's she then? Who's Renee Zellweger? I don't know who that is. Is she a newsreader? I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. I've no idea who you're talking about, Louise. I'm not very good with celebrities, I'm afraid. Not very good with celebrities. Don't know who you mean. What does she do? Is she on the telly? And it had a camera that was in disc form. Yes. Yes, there was. You could buy a photographic disc, couldn't you? I don't think they sold many of those, and you drop it in, and the thing would just... Yeah, I remember that. And do you remember those other things? Like a photographic disc. What was that called, where you used to buy these discs of pictures and put that in, and it would like be a 3D thing, like a pair of binoculars, and your pictures would go round, and you could see different pictures. What was that called? I remember that as well. Treasure Hunt with Kenneth Kendall. Now, there's a proper newsreader. Kenneth Kendall. Kenneth Kendall. Proper newsreader. Yes. Do you know, I found out he was gay. I think Kenneth Kendall was gay. Did you know that? I'm pretty sure he was. Someone look that up for us. Carol Kirkwood is 55. Oh, well, she don't look 55, does she? But then again, Ben, neither do I, mate. Do I? You know, neither do I. I know there's a few lines here, but there we are. That's okay. Pebble Mill on BBC One. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. A very good morning, good afternoon from Pebble Mill on BBC One at 1 o'clock. It was on, wasn't it? Pebble Mill at 1. Obviously. Juan says they went up to 440, those 110 cartridges. Ah, right. A microfiche. Microfiche. I used to use microfiche at work when I worked for British Telecom as director inquiry operator. Renee is a film star. Bridget Jones. No, don't know. Viewmaster. Thank you, Viewmaster. That was that little thing where it was like a little bit like small binoculars, and you drop something in and you click this thing and you could see pictures in 3D. Very clever. Ben's got a Viewmaster. Well, why doesn't that surprise me, Ben? I don't surprise that. Jessica says, Jessica is confused this morning. Jessica, I've been very, very confused for many, many years, I'm afraid. Right, Renee was in Bridget Jones's diary. Okay, so I don't know that. Good morning, Jason. Morning, Jason. Hope you're well. He turned up at the karaoke on Monday. Right, let's do today's birthdays, and then we must go because I've got stuff to do today, boys and girls. There's only 2 today. My very, very good friend, Mitzi McIntosh. It's her birthday today. She's got trouble with her eyes. I think she's got to go and have an eye test or something like that. Mitzi McIntosh, I met, is a drag queen, and she used to do this thing in Australia in Newtown at a place called the Imperial Hotel, which was basically a pub type thing. And she used to do bingo, which was just her version of bingo, with loads of prizes and little comedy bits. And I went to see this and I bought it here. And I started doing it over here. And I actually met her a few years ago. She's moved over here now with her other half. And I think she gave up the drag. Unfortunately, she didn't get the what would be the correct, the respect that the Australians gave her. She did the most brilliant show. Brilliant show. Same over here as she did over there. But for some reason, it just didn't take yet. I think that we've kind of moved away from the mime, which is a great shame. It's a great shame when it comes to drag. I mean, there's good mime drag, very good mime drag, but for whatever reason, it didn't work as well here as it did there. It's a little bit like English people go to America, doesn't it, really? And they do their stuff over there, and for some reason it doesn't work, and we never know why, really. But very, very talented, and I loved her work. Happy birthday to Mitzi McIntosh today. I don't see you anymore because I left the Two Brewers some months ago when they decided to open till 3 in the morning. Oh, I can't stay awake that long. Happy birthday, Mitzi. Hope you're well, darling. And also 25 years old, JJ R. Cartwright, who I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think you used to come to 286 Bar in Lewisham and sing when I did the karaoke there. So just the 2 birthdays today. Happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mitzi and JJ, happy birthday to you. That was all timed then when I got your names in, wasn't it? Now, tonight it's Wednesday night, so if you're around in North London, you've got the chance to win a £30 bar tab. And you can play completely free of charge. It doesn't cost you to join in our quiz tonight at the King's Head Theatre Bar, 115 Upper Street in Islington. Starts at 8:30, and there's 4 rounds, 2 lots of questions, a picture round and a music round. £30 bar tab will be won tonight, and it's free to enter. The quiz of the week, at the King's Head Theatre Pub tonight, 115 Upper Street in Islington. Final messages. Good morning to Ashley, who joins us very late this morning. Good morning, Ashley. You must be at work, darling. And Mark says, I've got to watch Oscar-winning movie Get Out in a Min. I don't know that one. Get Out in a Min. Good. All righty. Are they hard questions? I don't know, really. It depends on you, really. Your questions may come up. The first round is always about current affairs, stuff that's been happening in the news and all that stuff. The second round is a picture round, which this week is Place the Face. It's just 20 pictures of people's faces. Simply name them. The third round this week is about transport. And the fourth round is the music round. I think the music round this week is karaoke, where I've recorded people singing songs and you have to name the original artist and the title. I think that's the music round this week. I can't remember what one I've set. That's all done now, though. It depends whether we get you the right night or not, really. Sometimes people say, well, that was easy this week, or that was hard this week. You know, so it just depends what week, really. All righty. Thanks very much, boys and girls. I'm off now. Time to do my little swimming and all that business. Have a lovely Wednesday, and thanks ever so much for joining us. I'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, what time's the show tomorrow? I can't think if I'm doing morning or night tomorrow. Can't remember. So I'll either be with you around about 9:30, 9:15, 9:30 in the morning, or 9 o'clock at night tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what time I'm doing tomorrow. Okay? Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching and listening. See you soon.